Hey, this is Al McGee with Your Entertainment Ticket at www.yeticket.com. Well, the film I'm going to talk about right now is called Stan and Ollie. Do you know who they are? Do you know who they were? Well, at one time, they was the greatest movie comedians of all time, in the 30s and 40s until the early 50s. But things changed in the 50s. Then you had Abbott and Costello and other duos. But along that time, though, they were very, very famous. And, of course, they only performed in the movies because that's all they had back then. They did not have television. But as I was watching this film and I, was contemplating to myself, I said, is this a love story? In other words, was Stan in love with Ollie? That's the way I kind of perceived this story, that the writer and the director's Jon S. Baird. Is that what they was trying to say? That really Stan was more in love with Ollie? But I know that Stan really missed Ollie when he went off on his own for a number of years. But then they finally got back together, according to this film, in which they really did in real life in 1953. First of all, let's talk about a couple of the actors. Let's talk about John C. Reilly. He's playing Oliver Hardy. Oliver Hardy was the big one, the fat one. This is a perfect choice for this film. He really chose this role for himself. Well, everybody picked him, things like that, the director and people like that. But he chose this for himself because, one thing, he was really in love with Oliver Hardy. It took him 4 hours to put on the makeup. But to me, once that makeup was on and he's in the film, John C. Reilly disappeared and I only saw Oliver Hardy. Now, Steve Coogan, he plays Stan Laurel. Again, here's another great acting choice to play this role. He looked like him a little bit. He acted like him a lot. But again, once he put on that costume and that uniform, I forgot about Steve Coogan. I did not see him at all. He really played this role very well with the voice and everything. Everything went well with these two actors playing these characters. There was one great scene in the film that I really enjoyed where, Stan wanted to demand more money from the producer and their boss at the time. His name was Hal Roach, which is played by Danny Huston in this film. Now, again, I'm a big fan of old movies. And when I was young, I used to see a lot of Hal Roach films. I always wondered, who was this guy? Well, they showed me just a little bit of him, so I'm going to do some more research and find out more about Hal Roach. But in this film, it shows that how he refused to give them more money and things like that. After that great scene about Hal Roach, the film jumps to 1953, where the two, they are in Britain. They're in England, where they're going to do a tour, to, one, try to prove to the Hollywood producers and people like that they still may be valuable on film, because they're talking to this one producer, and they want to produce a Robin Hood type film with them starring in it. And two, they want to see their fan base or see how popular they really are there in London, England. But at this time, they're much older. They've been through a couple of wives. And it also seems to make a statement about their alcoholism, that they had alcoholism and, they really drank a lot. But I can see here that Ollie is still playing the horses and things like that. Then later on, while they're on tour, their wives come along, and there you show. Then later on the tour, their wives show up, and it shows their relationships with their wives. Again, they are much older now. They're in their 60s. But still, Stan is still working hard and trying to develop new jokes, new gags, new material for the two of them. But Ollie, he doesn't do anything like that. Well, Stan and Ollie is a very good film to watch. I really enjoyed it. I got a little bit of nostalgia about it because I used to watch these guys on TV maybe at the movies once or twice. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. But they were very good at the time for themselves. I'm going to give this film 3 palm trees out of 4 because it's a very good film to watch. Also, it might remind you of how good these guys were back in the day. Or, if you never heard of them, the acting in this film and the directing in this film will remind you of good filmmaking. Hey, I'm Al McGee with Your Entertainment Ticket. Thank you for watching my review of Stan and Ollie. I really appreciate it.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest movie reviews and interviews. This is your entertainment ticket. YEticket.com.